The Hebrew text in the Bible has hidden formats. By revealing these formats, I will prove the first writer's words were hidden from you. These formats look like poetry as I group them into small paragraphs. Their grouping will become known as a psalm, and together they become psalms. Let me show you our Creator's 12 commandments, listed in Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. Any father of a family or his wife who did not obey any one of these 12 commandments, our Creator demanded they bring him a sin offering. Thus, our Creator defined the word sin as not obeying any one of these 12 commandments. Next, I want to show you how I changed one word in Exodus 26, verse 26, the word bars to arches, and the words now reveal the style of the roof for our Creator's tent for meeting with Him. Let me show you the translator's words from the preface of the 1611 King James Bible. They gave 4 reasons for themselves or others to edit the Bible's words. The red arrow at the top points to their 3rd reason to edit the text. By the light and feeling we attained unto ourselves. The next red arrow down points to them giving the title, the Divine, to a clerk named Gregory. The next block of words, they point out they were happy that the first emperor of Rome established the year to the course of the sun. Behind this text means Nebuchadnezzar ordered his kingdom to follow our Creator's calendar when he stopped eating grass. Did you notice the letter S in sun is capitalized? This is to give respect to the Egyptian sun god Ra. Have you seen the Egyptian obelisk in the Vatican's front yard? The last arrow points to your reward for studying the Bible. Your reward is to have a fellowship with the saints and participation of a heavenly nature that will never fade away. There is no such thing as nature to a truthful Christian. Our Creator created everything. By their own words, they were not seeking to know our Creator or Jesus. Not everyone has the knowledge to correct every word. I have an old Bible program that has the New American Standard Bible 1977 concordance to help find a better word. Their concordance has the number of times they use that English word in a parenthesis for that Hebrew word. The translators removed his name, YHVH, to put in 2 titles, Lord and God. I replaced those titles using the letters Y and V as his name. For the Hebrew language does not have a J, O, or W. By using these 2 letters, I am closer to the truth than anyone using J, O, or W for his name. So why is there a single letter O in the Hebrew text 1,095 times? No proper English was used? The blue highlighted text is text that I am removing. The red highlighted words are little words that I'm adding. Gray italic words are words that I added. To respect and honor our Creator, all capital letters in purple are our Creator's words. This is Jesus' prophecy, for I am revealing the first writer's words to tell you the true truths about Jesus. As the text is revealed, you can taste the writer's style of wording. Their words will take your belief to trusting our Creator. You will be watching prophecy before your eyes as I edit true truths back into their psalms. All right, this will be Zechariah, but I'm going to start at 8, but I wanted to review what happened yesterday. And this is what happened. I've got a 4-verse format going. That's the first that I've got this many pieces. Then you can see how these make a group or a paragraph. This makes a second paragraph, and the 2 of them combined together make a larger paragraph. So you'll see that I'll have a small space here and a larger space here. When I didn't find the words, I just made sure that it would fit the format by 2 verses missing. Now, as you can see that this format here needed some help because they left out the first chariot, they left out the 3rd chariot, but put the horses in, and then all of a sudden the chariots go and they're patrolling the earth, and that's the end of the story. we don't know what goes on from here. As you can see a space, there's going to have to be another paragraph or another format like this that goes right here. Sometimes I find it later in the text, so I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to show you what else I found in a 4-verse format, and that is these words I think are coming to Zechariah, and he is going to watch the captives come down. They're returning. Take from the captives this guy and this guy as they arrive from Babylon, and go that day into the house of Josiah, a son from Zephon. Now, I am shortening up the names, so the names might not be the same later or when you go look in the text. And it says that he's going to take the silver and gold and rebuild the house, but he sets up and he's going to make this Joshua a high priest, or the highest priest. So this text is telling us that the captives are being sent down. Word comes to Zechariah, and our Creator is going to say, start the priest gathering. So not only that the high priest is established, it'll be his assistants and the other priests as well. And then he's going to go talk to somebody, or I don't know who it is, will rebuild the house for Wivey. I think that text is above, but I'm not really sure. But I'm going to assemble all these in the correct order when I get done, and that'll help what's going on. And then he's going to assign the captives to come and rebuild. So not only that they're coming back to live on the land, that they're going to probably say, look, you can, a certain amount of people come work, and then the next group would come and work maybe in 2-month shifts or something like that. I don't know, but at least we've got the semblance of text of the starting of the rebuilding being told with the remnant that were left there. Now, the remnant here, it seems that they're going to have a discussion with these captives that have been released to come down. So this is their story of what they done and why they know that they're didn't fall away from our Creator. But it was only like 40 years before they were sent here. So this is what's happening here. Our captives were scattered among the kingdoms whom you did not know, and our land was desolate behind you. See, this is talking to this group that's coming. Now, the problem I've got is that I already looked for the story here to say if it's going to continue or not, and it doesn't. So it might be found in another chapter, but we're going to get an interruption here in the text, and we're just going to go, we're going to be looking for any kind of format, or a 3-verse or a 4-verse, mainly is what I'm looking for. And then try to correct the right words to mean the right meaning that would have been truthful at that time. So with that said, I will start. Then the words from Wivey. These would have been, this has to be, and get rid of this. And it's not word, it's words. He said, when he speaks, he says more than one word. And it will be from him, so it needs to be all capital letters, not ever of the word of Wivey. Came, I guess it's coming to him in his mind. This isn't a vision, okay? So this says YV. I need to put that together because this I've got as now as a comma and period. Thus says YV, comma, I'm exceedingly jealous for Zion. And then they our creator's putting a female deity on her, on Zion, which is supposed to be Jerusalem. So why would he be jealous for a city? So I don't think that's true. Okay. Thus says YV, I'll return to Zion to dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And that's wrong. The house for our Creator was built on the eastern side of the city of Jerusalem. And that's because when you look at the geographic of the land, when they're coming up from Bethel or Bethany, Bethany, I think, they go down and then they go up. And there's a gate right there, and then the house is here. Now, this road that's going back and forth here is where Jesus' body died on the cross. So when it says in the midst of Jerusalem, that's wrong. And he doesn't live there. Dwell means to live. That's not true. So I need to see if I can find something. But this, our creator's never left. Okay, that's the funny thing about this. I don't see that as really true. And then Jerusalem will be called the city of truth and the mountain of Wyrie. Now, there is no mountain. It was built on a hill. In fact, the hill was flattened out for the city to take place. So this is just not true. Thus says Wyrie, well, he's already talking, so don't need this. I guess something like this. But that's all wrong. Old men and old women will again sit in the streets of Jerusalem. Okay, now that's pretty good. That's a format. So now what I need to do here is make sure. Now it's telling me a second. Yeah, I gotta adjust again here. Stream output. It must be that Friday night, and I'm not going to be able to get a stream over there that's hesitating. I can see the screen. Okay. But it's almost like it's frozen. So I don't know if you're getting a delay on YouTube. Okay, but here, it has to be, if this is going to be truthful to my house, is what it has to be. And this means that I'm adding that. House This I've already gotten. The next one. And Jerusalem, I guess it's going to be a good place, so I better capitalize it. And Jerusalem would be called um, his city for his truths is the way I see it. Because I can't put prophecy here, although that's his city for his prophecy. That would mean Jesus is coming back. So this was added. This is just changing a word. Will be called his city for his truths. Okay. I also can put it as this was said. By Wyvie, and then state it that way. Okay, I like it said better that way. But I don't need this because I've got a good start here. So that can go out now. Although this is our creator speaking, so I better. Okay. Now this, I'm going to use one space and I'm going to bring it down and say I need two spaces here to keep the format going. And I showed you that, and this is how I do it. See, this is they're using a secular word for a male here. Each male, well, why would he have a staff? Because of old age. This doesn't make sense. It's already been told. Old men and old women, they do need assistance in walking, some of them. Depends on how aged they are. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this because what I'm seeing here is this and the streets in his city and the streets of the city will be filled. Now this is a 4-verse. This boys and girls are children. To make a 3-verse or 4-verse. So this will be a comma here. This our creator saying this, but this out. Oops. Be filled with children. As they, I'm going to put as they play in the streets. It doesn't matter here. Whoop. Comma. And then I'm going to have something like this somewhere. Okay, it's 11 point. Now that will continue to there. This means there has to be 2 of these here then, 2 spaces to make it a wider gap. If it is too difficult in the sight of the room, if it is too difficult, why would our creator say even that? He's already telling them that they're going to be. Well, this is this I guess is a different subject when I start reading down here. Why is it being difficult? Now, the remnant are the people that were on the land. Well, if you're sending the captives down, they aren't called a remnant. And how can it be anything difficult in his sight? So those words are out. Thus says why we behold, I'm going to save my people. If this is what he said, and they're back in the streets, it has to be for he we don't need this word, don't need this, we already know he's talking, for he is going to return. Okay. not save. But I guess the word returned is, it's not correct here as to say that I'm replacing the word save. I need to make it mine. For he is going to return, comma, it's got to be Jesus here. His righteous people. His righteous people. Now, this is not true east. You got to understand, um, the other side of the Jordan River is a high plateau or mounts. They're just a large surface of land that's just, let me tell you, the hill country is, sea level is here. Hill country is about 2,000 feet, and about 4,000 feet is where this mount, or what we know today know as Jordan, is here. And this ends up being the Saudi Arabia desert that we know about today. Very hot, very extreme. People only travel at night. So they wouldn't be over there. So they can't be from the east. And the west happens to be the Mediterranean. So this has to be from the kingdoms of the north and the kingdoms of the south. This has to be south, because I know that Ezra, we haven't got to Ezra yet, but Ezra is going to talk to the king of Egypt is going to call him, and most likely it's because he's here in the house being rebuilt. So the thing here is um, we know that the word south is what's needed here. And here is there has to be north, because the fact that that's where Babylon is at. So, and now this text is almost like going way back when I showed you chapter 6, the second part, when I showed you earlier, that he's going to meet the remnant or meet the captives. So here, this text, I'm going to return his righteous people from the land I think I get rid of this. And from the land south. I'll leave it like that because I'm going to review these. So other than that, I'm trying to just make sure it's now 5,000 is too high. So let me see what this next setting does. So that 45. All right, now or I am bringing them back, or I'm bringing them for he. Now this was said by a creator. Okay. This has to be for here. For he. I don't think I need that as a capital. He will bring them back. Now, the fuchsia colored word is a text that was added in 1977. They at least italicize that and let you know that they're adding like 6,000, 8,000 more words. In a few more years, they'll add another 5, 10,000 new words. It means they're still editing the text that you know that they've destroyed, and that it's not their text. They wouldn't be needing, if it was their text to begin with, we wouldn't have all these problems. Okay, the text would be easy to read, not double speaking half the time. So you know they're starting with someone else's text, because even now they keep adding. But I'm going to say that I'm going to add that word. Is going to bring them back to live if they're bringing them back, they understand that it's bringing them back to their land. He hasn't specifically said to rebuild his house to him. That isn't, he's going to later know that, but at this time, to live as his people. And this will be a period. So now we have Jesus's people. As his people. They already know that so this can't be right. They already know this. The righteous people still believe in him, so this is a stupid sentence. As his people. In truth and righteousness. I'm just seeing if I can find the words down here that go there. Nope. I'm going to say this verse up here is missing. And it's going to be something like, to follow my statutes and laws, with obedience and righteousness. I don't see it as truth, but right now I'm seeing it this way. That's how it's missing. Thus says Bible, let your hands be strong. You who are listening in these days, from the mouths of the prophets, those who spoke of the day that the foundation of the house of Yahweh was laid to the end, that the temple might be built. The foundation already exists. They burnt inside wood. That would have been the cabinets. They're on the walls to hold everything that they took away. There would have been poles, or their horns that they sounded for the year of jubilation. Look at here. Here's the word might be built. You think our Creator is going to say might be built? He's sending them to rebuild it. I don't see anything that I really can use here that has usefulness in the text. To these words from the mouth of the prophets, our Creator is speaking through him, and he's making a summation or a summary of what he has said. So this I don't see any of this being useful. Before those days, there was no wage for man or a wage for animal. For him who went out or came in, there was no peace because of his enemies. And I set all men one against another. Well, he did not do that. Our Creator told them, our Creator kept, look, there's 12 commandments. And it is the agreement that he makes with their descendants that they must follow these commandments. If not, they needed to be atoned for their sin of one of these 12 commandments to be forgiven. Then they got to remain in the land. He would not set them against one another. That is, our Creator seems to have forgot what he set his house up for, or his tent for. Treat the remnant. Now, truth and righteous, bring them back. Now, he will this is now he will treat, now he will bless. Now he will bless, meaning Jesus is coming. Now he will bless the remnant of his people. Now he will bless the remaining. I'm trying to think of a word, remaining. I'm gonna do something dangerous here. I'm gonna go to the text and see if I can find another word from their word that they say remnant. Survivors. Perfect. The survivors. Like the former days. That means he's going to keep them safe and protect them, because we know they're still going to be under jurisdiction of the Romans here pretty soon. Like our former days. This is out. Where there will be peace. Like our former days, there will be peace. And since I'm going to use that, there will be peace. Or I think those words might come out. Sometimes it's hard to decide until I get a lot of the text together to look around at what else I have found. No, wait a second. I'm not seeing. Finally, I haven't got a message back. And I'm going to have to write that down because I'm not getting frames dropped now at this. This is Friday night. Yeah. It's just so I don't have to. Seems I've got to set bit rates up differently for different days. I was using 6,000 for the last 4 days. So anyways, for the seed, the vine will yield its fruit. That makes no sense. The land will yield its produce. I was going to say their fields. Their fields will produce. And that I'm using heaven as the little h to mean the heavens where the birds fly. With a capital H, that's where the stars motion makes Mount Zion, with the North Star being the top of the mountain. And then heaven is all capital letters in purple, and that's above the North Stars where heaven is located. Field will produce, and the heavens and the heavens and from heaven rain. So this is a promise that there's going to be no more famine, droughts. Now this is not anything true here. You're going to be a curse among the nations, the house of Judah, the house of Israel. So I will save you, become a blessing, do not fear, let your hands be strong. That's up to our creators, so it's not up to them to do any of that. This is just past knowledge that doesn't mean anything. No, their fields will produce, and from heaven rain. This do not fear. I need 2 verses from here, maybe. Or again, this will be capital but added, and he promises, not proposes. He promises. and their days. Just trying to add a word there to see if it works. In their days. And their, again, he promises their days will be good. Good. This don't need. And I think that's a long stretch between a lot of words here, but that's usually what happens. They stick a bunch of crap in there, and then you can find two more verses that just fit together. That's what's. And from heaven rain, for again he promises their days will be good. So that seems to be the end, should be the end of that group. These are the things which you should do, speak to. This is all common knowledge to the righteous. That's they're onto our Creator, and they know these are the truth. So they don't need to be reminded. This is also something that they would know. This is why they fast on the 4th, fast on the 5th, fast on the 7th, fast on the 11th or 10th. And all these are months will become joy, gladness, feast for the house of. Nope. No, he was building. Look, the people that were traveling still back and forth on the highway through the land, promised land, why would they stay there? Our Creator said it's going to become a place of desolation for them. So only the remnant of Israeli people would be living there. So why would the races from many cities, even in inhabitants of many cities? And this is not true. Do them good. Now, the problem is we know we got the text from Jesus at Jesus' time. So I know that they're going to have Romans come down and live within their land. So that means there's going to be other races there, but they didn't come to seek Hawaii. So this is not truthful. And a Jew is someone who doesn't believe Jesus. So that is just stupid. Okay. So let me get this text that I've just done. And I think we've got something here. I think we've got actually the starting of the text that he's being told that they're coming. So these should almost be the first words from Zechariah. So uh, get rid of this, get rid of this. It didn't work. The macro works sometimes, and sometimes I got to spend a lot of time correcting the text. They're cleaning up the text. It was hard enough to get it to do just that right there. Okay. Now this is a four verse, but these two get grouped together. So double space there. This means one of them are out. Old men and young and children. Okay. Then there's something missing at the beginning of this one. And that would be, he had a vision. Or could it be like what, let me make sure I've got this done here just to clean up, because I'm thinking it would need something like a date as the beginning. Now, if these two have two spaces, this has got to be one space. This has got to be two, which is there. And then it's got to be one below here. And it looks like this is the continuing of the story, but it's like it's at the beginning of the text. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, when I get done doing these, I will try to stick them in correct order. So let me save that before I forget that button. Now, audio bit rate is gone. I can't lower that. I can't do anything about that. So maybe I'm not speaking loud enough for everything to come through. Maybe. Maybe if I drop my frames. I'm doing 30 frames per second. And since this is not audio or gaming, which I don't know how they're doing, that's just, I don't know how they're getting in there. But I guess if you're affiliate, you get extra cookies. The burden of the word of life, well, there is no such thing as that, is against the land from Damascus. Okay. As is the resting place, as its resting place. For the eyes of men, especially of everyone in the tribes for Israel, are towards Livy. This is out. Anything within parentheses was found in other manuscripts, so they put it in. But this, why are we talking about pagan land anyway? Oh, there we go. Herself. Will build herself a fortress, a female deity now over the city. And it's the word from our Creator. And I don't even really care what's going on there, but that's not true. This is pagan land. This is pagan land. Okay, female deity time again, and she will be consumed with fire. Okay. Now this is a city for the Philistines, but I don't think they're there anymore. They aren't being sent back. They would be taken captives, and they would have been known by their skin color. Well, I can't say that. I think the descendants of Philistines were the same skin color, because they're all descendants from Noah in the land. They just got turned pagan, and this here again will not be inhabited. Well, don't care what, because those cities are become part of the promised land because David conquered them and he pushed them farther down, the Philistines, down past the river that is now today even called the River of Egypt, which means that long ago that was the borderline for the kingdom of Egypt. So the thing here, this is, our Creator is going to bring them back to their land, so that doesn't make sense. No, that's not true. He's the pride of the Philistines. Well, this has only been 40 years, and only the Israelis from Babylon are being sent, and that's what this story is talking about. This, our Creator's going to do that? Right. We're like a clan in Judah, the Jebusites. These people have been long gone, dead and gone. Camp around my house because of the army, because of him who passes by and returns nor oppressor will pass over anymore. And now I have seen with my eyes. Gibberish. Rejoice greatly, daughters of Jerusalem. Behold, your king is coming. He is not endowed with salvation. Now, the meaning of mounted on a donkey is what the kings rode. They didn't have horses, even though there's supposed to be all kinds of horses, but it was donkeys that they rode on. Okay, so this is talking about how Jesus is going to ride in on a donkey into Jerusalem. But it's not going to have salvation. But who is saying this? Because these words are starting to pop up that actually make sense. Just and humble. Oh, I hate that. So now I have to start all over. Sitting on a donkey. He isn't mounted to the damn. Okay, he isn't mounted. I think that's funny. But then again, the text has a lot of funny things in it. And riding on a donkey. And will be your king is coming to you. Your king is coming. Okay, this would be a period. This, we have him riding on a donkey. Don't need this. It's almost like they will rejoice greatly. They will rejoice in Jerusalem. You will rejoice in Jerusalem. Or they're got to be talking about the future here, so he won't be around, so it has to be their king, and he's going to be speaking to Israelis, so it's not like too much is needed, but they will rejoice in Jerusalem, for their king is coming. He is just and humble, and will be riding on a donkey. Okay. Mhm. I need to save that. I just can't throw it, even though it doesn't look like anything's going to hook with this. M from, no, this, you will speak peacefully. You will speak peacefully. The tribes, has to be tribes. To our tribes. To our tribes of his kingdom. Although this is from our creator, so his kingdom has got to be like this. This is how I designate it when it's given to him from our creator, but he is going to be the possessor of the kingdom. So to our tribes, he will speak peacefully to our tribes of his kingdom. Will be from sea to sea, the rivers to the end of the earth. No, no, but it looks like it's going to be 2 verses unless I can find some here. For you also, because of the blood of my covenant with you, I've set the prisoners free from a waterless pit. For he will set his prisoners free. Set. No, I was trying to make something connect to these two. That's not it. return to strong our prisoners with hope this very day and declaring that I will restore to you double. No, that isn't true. How do you get into my house? I got a small gecko here showing up. And I've got my house locked up pretty tight. So how did he get in? I'm in a mobile home, sorry. From the 60s, by the way, which is cool. The whole neighborhood is in the 60s. I will bend Judah as a bow against the sons of Greece. What are they doing down here? This is definitely gone. This is just not true. We know what happens when Jesus is around, so. Oh boy. Yep, when Wivey appears, he'll flash forth lightning and blow a trumpet and march the storm winds of the south. Wivey defend and devour and trample on the slinging stones. They will drink and be boisterous of wine, drenched on the corners of the altar. See, they think that they kill these altars that's where they kill the animal or sacrifice the animal, or they don't have any idea that there is on the altars there's stands with hooks that hang the muscles from the ram or the goat, and then it's burnt up, and that is the offering. And where they say it's a sacrificial basin drenched like the corners of the altar. No, that would be them killing an animal on the altar. That's completely wrong. This is just wrong. That's just the end of the story. That's not enough. Okay, so I think these two are going to hook with those two. But I don't see anything connecting to 9 here. So that was really quick, but really bad. 8. And this will be 9. I'm just going to go through here real quick. This is going to be this is just going to be 2 blanks here. To catch the format. Now that is unique to see this text here. And Well, we know that in Isaiah, the text says that Isaiah had a vision of his death. So he knew this is words from Isaiah. Got to be. This can't be here in this text at all. This has to come from Isaiah. That's just too far away for not, because he had the vision of them receiving him, and then they crucified him, crucified his body, and he knew that they were doing that, but then they betrayed him. Those words have to be Isaiah, from Isaiah. And they would be missing as far as I know of. But he's the only one that would know this or had said this. Now, somebody else could know about that text, but I'm not sure how I would say that he would know this. Anyways, I guess I'll be back tomorrow. Well, let me see here before I do that. Because I just looked at the clock and it's a little bit. Okay, I'm going to continue because I just looked at the clock and I've only been going for about an hour and 30 minutes. So I can, because I think there's only 14 chapters to Zechariah. And I think it's going to be more fun to watch me put the pieces together. Okay. Now boy, I thought the text above was reading bad. He's already promised in the text I just done that there will be goodness for them. So they aren't got to worry about any of this. Now, wants to break here, but this we don't need to know about. Yet we know that Jesus is coming. He will be their herder. Oh, he'll make them like his majestic horse in battle. Our Creator goes to battle on a horse. Did you know that? And they will come cornerstone and peg them, every ruler, all of them together. They'll be as mighty men, treading down the enemy as we're in the street. In battle, they will fight, for rivalry will be them, and the horses will be put to shame. I don't know why the horses need to be put to shame, but the riders on the horses will be put to shame. Excuse me. I was just scanning through to see if there was anything reasonable to be saved. I will strengthen the house of Judah. I will save the house of Joseph. That's wrong. I will bring them back because they have compassion on them, because they will be as though I had not rejected them. Therefore, I will be their God. They know who he is. He's creator. He's not God. I will answer them. No, he's bringing them down. He's saying he will be there, rebuild my house. I don't see that as true. This, he's already said up above that he will bring them from the north and the south. Remember me editing that? Um, this, no, it's been said. This has been said. This is what I just talked about. These cities are, well, this is a country or a land for a kingdom that is gone now. And I don't see that as true. Well, then, just like the Nile, will dry right up. Well, we already know from Daniel's vision, or the Nebuchadnezzar's vision of his statue, and Daniel telling him that there's going to be different kingdoms. So we know that they're going to become weaker and weaker. Well, okay, I'm glad I stuck around, stuck around for that, because that's the first full chapter I've thrown out. So, but, okay. No, this is what is going on here. All of a sudden, just run into junk. Um, Bashan. Bashan doesn't even exist as a kingdom. Okay? You got to remember when they come into the promised land or went around Edom to go into the promised land by crossing the Jordan, they had to fight, who was it? Moab and then Ammon's. And they say Bashan is over here. Yet there's no talk of them or whatever. And what are they doing here? Because they become the land that Moses gave them as their land to give away as or to have as inheritance. The pride of Jordan is ruined. Um, they lived on that land for what, 800 years. So yes, it was, it was ruined. They, yeah, whatever. Doomed to slaughter. Slay them, go unpunished, each of them to sell. Says, blessed be Wivey, for our riches, and you can't bless our Creator. For I will no longer have pity on the land, declares Wivey. Nope. He's not worried about the inhabitants on the land. He's bringing them back. So, will I cause the men to fail each another power into the power of his king. There's only one king at a time. How do you do that? It's not good. They will strike the land, and I will not deliver them from whatever. So I pasture the flocks, doomed to slaughter. We just got done saying that. Two staffs, one called favor and the other called union. Then I'll annihilate the three shepherds in 1 month, and my soul be impatient with them and weary within me. Okay. Just junk. And just junk. They're going to eat each other's muscles. This flesh is really muscles. Okay. It took my staff favor and cut into pieces. Yeah, right. That's, they don't understand the text that they're editing here. So the people that are editing these words have no knowledge of all the text. They're just writing to write. Yeah. Give me your wages. Um, no, then he said to me, throw it to the potter, that magnificent price which I was valued by them. So he took the 30 silver and threw them to the potter in the house of our creator. Yeah, right, okay. The potter is working inside his house for meeting with him. Then I cut my two in pieces and break the brotherhood. No. And why he said to me, take in yourself equipment of the foolish shepherd. Can you tell me what the foolish shepherd carries? What is the equipment of the foolish shepherd? Maybe it's a twig and not a stick or a staff. I don't know. Behold, I'm going to raise up a shepherd in the land who will not care, for the perishing seek the scattered, heal the broken, sustain the one standing, but devour the muscles of the fat sheep and tear off their hoofs. I don't know about you, but why take it out on the animals? Woe is worthless shepherd. Yeah, this is just the end there. Well, I guess I gotta end there because I gotta divide this up. But I'm beginning 13, 14. 14 is going to be pretty long. So tomorrow I will do that and do all three because I'm going to try to find the right times to stream. Hey, there's no more warnings for me. Wow. So maybe I just stick to that and bring my... Anyways, that's me just thinking. And I'll see you tomorrow.